Hey guys, another quick video here, banished it out. I want to talk to you about, as I'm learning more and more, and I'm doing more and more research, I wanna I wanna pose a question to you. What is freedom to you? What does freedom mean to you? See, for me, freedom means to be myself in every moment, to be able to speak the way I want to speak, the words that come into the thoughts that come into my mind, how I'm really feeling. Freedom means freedom of being able to be myself without feeling any type of resentment or guilt or shame or I'm going to hurt somebody else's feelings. Freedom to me means freedom from what is perceived on the outside, what the outside world, what am I perceiving, how they're going to receive the way I express myself. The reason I'm bringing this up in this video is how many of us truly live lives of freedom, of doing the things that we want to do when we want to do them. You see, we come into this world free. We're free. But the first 7 years of our life, we are in a hypnotic state. We're in what's called theta brainwaves. The first 2 years of our life, we're in delta. And delta is we're unconscious. So for the first, from 0 to age 7, there is absolutely no consciousness. We are not conscious of anything. And we know this by saying, we think like, well, I can't think of anything that I did when I was 1 year old, or 1.5, or 6 months, or even 2 years of age, because we weren't conscious. But that's when our minds were programmed. And however our parents or whoever it was that raised us, however they lived, the majority of our life is based off of that programming. You see, the definition of our mind is to create cohesion between our beliefs and our reality. So whatever it is that we believe, that's how our mind is going to create our reality. So if we believe we're going to get cancer because somebody in our family had cancer, our mind will actually create cells in our body that are cancer cells, and we'll end up getting cancer. So this is what I'm saying. What do you define as freedom? I would like for you to comment down below. What is your definition of freedom? If someone said to you, you have the freedom to do whatever it is you want to do, to go after whatever it is you want to go after, pursue whatever you want to pursue, what would you do? What would you do? What would you pursue? How would you speak? How would you dress? How would you act? Who would you be with? Who would you spend most of your time with? Where would you go? See, I want to ask these probing and thought-provoking questions because now I want to ask you, are you living that now? Are you living a life where you can say the things you want to say when you want to say them? Are you living a life with the people you want to be with? Are you living a life? Is the job that you have a job or a career? Is what you do while you're living, are you pursuing your dreams? Do you know, what you feel inside to do the things you want to do? If you were free to do them, are you doing them now? And if not, why not? See, the majority of us, and you can answer this question again yourself, did you come into a life, was your childhood surrounded by people who constantly reaffirmed that you are great, that you are beautiful, that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you are perfect in every way, that you can achieve whatever it is you set your mind to achieve? Did they look at you and say, hey, I just want to reaffirm every single time they see you that you are perfect, you are great, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, you can be whoever you want to be, you have nothing to worry about, you can do whatever you want to do, I believe in you? Was that you? Because majority of us, that was not our upbringing. See, the majority of us, as we started to get older, and I'm talking about between 0 and 7, getting older, getting closer to 7, a lot of us were told, real men don't cry, I'll give you something to cry about, right? Would you stop that? You're bothering me, whatever it may be. Why can't you do a better job? Why are you not doing this? Excuse me. This is how the majority of us were raised. We were raised by people who emotionally, for the most part, who emotionally were not stable enough to raise children. They didn't have the cognitively, they weren't, because they couldn't have been. Because we're only finding out about this now, as far as the subconscious mind controls 95% of our day. We're only finding out about this now. So if we're only finding out about this now, then we have generations of people prior who came here before us that have raised us. And the reason I'm saying that is because our parents, a lot of what they did was what they learned, right, from their parents, our grandparents, and our great grandparents. And I will have you understand this by telling you this: how many people do you know that you know them and their parents? And how many of those people can you think of right now? Do you think of somebody right now, you know that person, guy or girl, and their parents? And now I want you to think of, who would you say of your friends are just like their parents? That want you to know them and their parents. Excuse me. The reason I'm saying this is that's exactly why we grow up and we start acting just like our mom, our dad, right? So if that's the case, and our minds are always looking to create the cohesion between what we believe and our reality, then our reality is probably not a reality of true freedom. A freedom to we say what we want to say, we go where we want to go, we're around the people we want to be around with, we are waking up every day and we're going towards our dreams and our aspirations and our careers. We're not going to a job which stands for JOB, just over broke. We're not in jobs that we need to be in rather than want to be in. We're not in jobs where we know we fear that if we don't have the job, but we can't make the mortgage payment, right? Or the rent payment. See what I'm saying? So I want to kind of tie this together. Let's work together, and leave in the comments section down below, working towards living a life of true and total freedom. The way we start to do this is we become very aware of what we're thinking and how we're acting in each moment, because how we're feeling and how we're acting, what our beliefs are in that moment, is directly tied to how we've been raised and how our life has been subconsciously, not consciously. And we start to think about and become habitual, just like we walk every day and we drive our car every day, tie our shoelaces. We become habitual in our thinking, and we focus on, and we write down, we want to try this, write down, what does a life of total freedom to you look like? What would you, write down, and you maybe want to write it down and recite it and record yourself saying this: I have my perfect life is, and then write it out. Because even in just the practice of writing it out, you are focused, you're concentrating in the moment. So as you're writing this, you're actually writing, and to your subconscious mind, you are that person. You are living that life right now. Because the subconscious mind is not objective. It doesn't say to you, well, I mean, you're writing this stuff down, but really, I mean, you're at you're making about $45,000 a year or $60,000 a year. I mean, do you understand this, right? No, it just says that's what you want. Remember, this is what you're going to get, because the mind, the purpose of the mind is to create cohesion between your beliefs and the reality you live in. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start to focus our life on a life of total freedom. We're going to write it out. We're going to recite it, record ourselves. We're going to listen to it day after day after day, as many times as we have to, because this is how we flush out the old programming in the subconscious mind and replace it with new programming, a life of total, total freedom. Have a great day.